Hey guys, it's me Gearholic here, coming at you guys with another review. So today's review is going to be over the Spyderco Endura 4. I kind of waited on buying one of these for quite a while, kind of put it off. I really did want to get one. I just didn't know if I could use a knife or a folder for everyday carry that was going to be that large. Because I'm kind of more of a smaller knife kind of person. Kind of feel like the functionality of a larger blade fits a little bit different profile as far as what I was looking for. But I do like the company Spyderco. I'm very for what a lot of their products that they make. And that being said, I went ahead and I kind of bit the bullet and I bought one, especially after watching a ton of reviews and kind of getting really excited about maybe getting one. I went ahead and I got the full flat grind version with green handles, and I'll show it here in a little bit. So just kind of bear with me. I originally got it, and I've been using it every single day at my job. I work as a park ranger at a local county park here, and it is I'm out in the wilderness. I am doing a lot of walking. I deal with a lot of different things every day, whether it's boxes or something. I'm always constantly using a blade, so I do kind of put my blades through a lot of rigorous testing, which is part of, I guess, my philosophy. It's like, if you're not using it the way it's supposed to be used, then what's the point of having it? So that being said, I'll kind of introduce it, and I'll kind of give you guys some specifications on it, and maybe we'll go over a few things that I don't like about it, that kind of thing. So I'll have to introduce my Spyderco Endura 4. So it's a beautiful knife. I would say it's very well crafted. Spyderco did an outstanding job of making this blade just very ergonomic for the user. It opens and deploys really well. I haven't had any problems with the deployment method, even when I'm wearing gloves. This 13mm hole that they got up here is great. I would say that it's a really functional hole, and does a really great job of biting into the finger or the thumb for deployment. I would say that it's excellent. Excellent job. Spyderco, that's obviously like their signature is going to be the big hole, big round hole in the blade, and I just think it works so well. And it's just easy to just get out and flick and just open. I've had no problems, deploying this when I was using it. Never got caught or anything. So really like that feature. Obviously, like all the other Spyderco knives, much like the Spyderco Salt One, it's just got a really good quality feel to it. Feels like it was really manufactured well. So yeah. So obviously I went with the FRN, green FRN. The fiberglass reinforced nylon has held up really well. I've actually dropped this knife a couple of times. Getting it in and out of my pocket. It slipped out of my hand, fell, and actually bounced off a rock and then onto the ground. And it didn't even get any damage, which I was really surprised. And I was actually concerned that I had chipped the FRN, which I guess didn't happen when I dropped it. So that's speaking for, I guess, the durability of it so far has been quite nice. I've used it a lot. I've used the blade quite a bit, opening up boxes and different things. You can kind of see it doesn't have too much wear and tear on it, which I'm surprised, especially from how many boxes and things I've opened or cut with this. I doled out the blade from using it so much, and I resharpened it on with my own sharpening techniques. It did come to me razor sharp, and that's how I like my knives. A dull knife is a dangerous knife, so I've been told. And basically, yeah, it's a beautiful knife. It's very well crafted. The handle is beautifully done. I'll go ahead and kind of give you guys some specs. That way we kind of get that out of the way. The overall length is going to be 8 3/4 inch. Or 222 millimeters. The close length, which is when you put it in your pocket, it's going to be 5 inches or 127 millimeters. The hole diameter I already said was 13 millimeters or a ½ inch hole, along with the cutting edge. The blade length is going to be 3 3/4 inch or 96 millimeters, with the cutting edge of 3 7/16 or 88 millimeters, which is great. It's actually a pretty decent long blade. The blade shape, I would say, call it like a leaf shape, kind of, almost a sheep's foot leaf blade combo. I'm not really sure exactly what what you would call that. It's obviously VG10 steel. You can see that right there, VG10, and made in Siki City, Japan, which is also right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Siki City. Yeah, and they produce a lot of the Spyderco blade steels. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if specifically Endura is assembled there in Japan, but I know for a fact the steel obviously comes from there. And then obviously you have your little Spidey emblem on there, their famous little logo. And I mean, really, it's a beautiful blade. I got this blade for approximately $62 and some change. Um, on Amazon. It was on a deal. They have many colors. The FRN handles come in different colors. They have purple and orange and blue and black and whatever color they got, like dark forest green with a different, like I think it's ZDP 89 steel or something like that. They got all kinds of combos of colors. So your choices of colors are actually out there, and that's another reason why I like Spyderco is they're giving options. They're kind of making it easier to personalize and have kind of a little bit different look to blades. And like I've said so many times in my other videos, you kind of get tired of seeing the black on black or black on chrome or steel, brushed colors, and you just kind of get burnt out from that. And that seemed to be the only thing you could find for a long time. And then finally, people started producing colored knives, and I mean, I'm just telling you, like, that's amazing because I mean, you don't need to have a black blade. Sometimes it's cool to whip out like a green colored scale blade, especially at work. I'll like whip this thing out and I'll use it. And a buddy of mine will be like, "Hey man, can I see that knife? It's really cool. It looks a lot different than most of the knives I've ever seen." And maybe they're not like knife buffs, and I kind of fill them in, and they're all like, "Oh, it's so cool. That's so neat. I want to get one too." So it's kind of neat. You can kind of be like, "Yeah, man, this is mine," and you can go get yourself one. If you don't like green, you get blue. So it's kind of nice. The color options are great. Ergonomics on this knife feel great. Just in the hand, I got relatively large size hands, and it fits just it's locked in there, especially with the aggressive texturing that comes on a lot of the Spyderco knives. You can see it's kind of like this super aggressive texturing that also represents kind of like a spider web if you kind of look at it like that. And it's really beautiful. And then you have the Spidey Endura 4 logo right there embedded in the handle, which is really cool. And also it's on the reverse side as well. You can mount the clip on either side, so you can mount it here or there, or reverse, you can mount it there. It's kind of nice. And then the way that actual clip is a very strong, sturdy steel clip. It won't wear on your jeans because that nice flat surface that it's actually sitting on is nice. It's really nice. A good quality feature. It's not going to tear up your jeans or anything when you're getting it in and out of your pocket, and it's not going to get caught on anything. I do like the clip. I think it's a really great clip. I think it's really nice and strong and sturdy. It's very, very reliable, very stiff. The only thing I don't like about it is it's not deep enough for what I would like to carry it for. I wish that the clip did kind of came up and wrapped back around, kind of like the SOG. A lot of the SOG knives out there, they have these deep carry pocket clips. I would like to see that kind of be done on some of the Spyderco knives. I've seen a lot of guys out there that do like modifications and they kind of make their own clips. I'm not that inclined to really want to do something like that. I just want my product when I buy it to come how I want it. And I mean, I'm not saying this is a knock against Spyderco. I'm just saying that might be something they could think about, along with removing some of the FRN material from where the blade material and the FRN kind of come together. If they could remove this little horn right here and just kind of make it so that way I could get my finger in there, much like the Spyderco Meadowlark. See how the FRN and the metal kind of meet perfectly. I want to be able to get my finger on there so I can use it in a more fashionable grip. If I want to do some close-up work, and look how close my finger gets to the blade, but at the same time there's a nice little bump right there that kind of keeps it, an aggressive jimping that kind of keeps it off of running up and onto the blade. And I kind of really dig in and really get into the material. So I kind of like that feature on the birds, and I know that they have like the Cara, which is basically the same size as this. I almost chose that over this, and then I decided I really wanted to upgrade the steel, and I really wanted to go something over 8CR13 MOV. And that VG10 steel, I'm not regretting getting that. That is an amazing steel choice. I think that Spyderco has done an excellent job with their blade steels. This is my first real encounter with VG10, and I really, really, really like it. I think it's really great stuff. I think that it holds an edge really well, and the high rust resistance, especially in my job, I'm always out there sweating. I sweat on this thing, and it gets sweat all over it. Get dirt on it, mud, muck, rain. It will rain on me, and it's like this thing is constantly exposed to some sort of moisture or sweaty whatever environment. And I haven't had a single speck of rust show up on it. And as much as I've used it too, there are no scratches or scrapes at all, hardly on the blade. And I can't, I don't know how well that's really showing up, but the blade for how much uses I've put it through for the last 2 months, it's held a really decent edge too, and it was easy to resharpen and get it back to its razor sharp edge, which is really nice. So I'll give you guys kind of a little quick cut test. It's really sharp, and it holds its edge really well. It really does want to cut through a lot of material, which is good. It does really well, and that's what I need to do. That's what it needs to function as. I would not push this thing in its role. I would say it's a really great backup, like camping knife or backpacking knife. EDC roll wise, I think it's great for a defensive blade. It's so long, it has so much reach. So if you had to defend yourself with it, it's actually really, a really good blade to have. And the fact that it's sharp and you can kind of wield it and use it for different, cutting capabilities. It's just really nice. It's a really nice blade shape too. I just love that. It's just beautiful. I like that blade shape too. I know that I really kind of wish that these Pacific Salt 1 blade that I had to modify my own blade shape on there, kind of turn that sheep's foot into more of a point, because I needed a point on my camping knife. I just prefer having points, and honestly, like after I did that modification, I love that blade even more, and I'm really glad they didn't go with some funky thing for this. It does have a mild like drop off kind of sheep's foot look to it, but I would say that I really enjoy the blade functionality and shape of it. And obviously it's full flat grind, so the way that it tapers on the blade edge is really kind of beautiful. You can kind of really see it right there. And they start up the top and work all the way down. They did a good job. And I believe the blade thickness on this is something like 3 millimeters. So it's a really thick, good quality thickness for a blade. I was going to compare it kind of to the thickness of my Mora companion that I have over here. And you can kind of tell they're almost the same. I want to say they're the exact same in spatial. I think the Spyderco might be a little bit thicker. But yeah, and I really like the blade seal on the Mora companions, because that Sandvik steel that they use, that 12, I think it's a 12C27 Sandvik steel, I would say it's just as good as the VG10, and as far as rust resistance and edge capability, they're just razor sharp. I really like that VG10. Like I said before, it's my first time with VG10, and I think I'm just having like a heart attack over the fact that I really like that blade steel so much. So yeah, man, Spyderco getting right. I really like the Endura 4. I think everybody should go out and try one out or test one out and get their hands on one. It's an amazing blade. You can see that I've been wearing it every day because my pocket clip is just really taking a beating as far as coming in and out of my pants, and it's great. I would say that a lot of this is just held up just immaculately well in comparison to what I was expecting it to. And grit and sand and all that doesn't bother the deployment method. I've actually dropped this thing in dirt and got it back up and opened it and closed it, and you could hear like the grinding of like the sand like in there, and I just kind of took it apart and cleaned it out, and it was fine. Went right back to normal. So it's just great, good quality knife. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm Gearaholic, and like I say always, be safe out there, guys, and try not to cut yourselves. All right, this is Gearaholic, and I'm signing out.